Okay, good question. So again, we've got lots of numbers to try and confuse you, but let's have a read the question again. Pause the video, have a wee think, and then I'll talk you through it. So Karen's buying some precious metals, silver, gold, and platinum. So we've got the month, we've got the rate of all different metals, and it's in US dollars. So the table shows the price per ounce, okay, on the first trading day of each month over the last year. Fine. So Karen bought 1 ounce of gold on the first trading day in March and sold it on the first trading day in September. Okay, so where's gold at? So she bought this on the first day in March. So she bought here. And she sold it on the first trading day in September. Sold it there. Calculate the percentage loss she made to 2 decimal places. Okay, well, your profit or your loss is simply just difference over original. So remember that little equation, difference over original. So what's my difference then? It's going to be 1140 take away 1210. You can do it either way. It doesn't actually matter, right? This will come out as a negative, but it doesn't matter how you do it. The difference, you could tell me if it's a profit or a loss. Do you know what I mean? Like she's gone down 70, so I know it's it's going to be 70. That's her percentage loss. But the negative infers to me that it's a loss. Okay, so I'll put the wee negative out there. And the original amount is 1210. So this is saying that she's lost $70 on that amount. Okay. And the one that I'm forgetting, sorry, is timesing by 100, so I can turn that decimal into a percentage. So 70 divided by 1210 times that by 100. So it's going to be 5.78. 5. In fact, I'm sorry, I'll keep writing a few just because it's to 1 decimal place, isn't it? So percent, and it wants it to 2 decimal places. So there's my 2 decimal places. So that's going to be 5.79% because you find your place, look next door. If it's 5 or greater, add 1 more. So difference over original, if you've not heard of that, it's a really easy way of working out profit and losses. And in this case, look how big it looks like. It's going to be a really complicated question, but it's not. It's a 2-second job. That difference over original. Okay. So she's lost £70 on 1,210. You could have made that, the other way around if you wanted. I could have said that was, and actually it's the way I usually do it. I would usually just say that it's 1210 take away 1140 is the difference. I know that's a 6% loss, but if you go in the right direction, the negative will help you tell if it's a loss or a profit, but you should know from looking at it that she's made a loss, and it's even told you as well. Okay, so nice one, and don't lose marks for don't forget to do the rounding as well. So you got a mark for this, and a mark for the final answer. Okay, again, have a wee read, see what you think. And this is a great question. There's so many aspects to it, and so many chances to make a little mistake, which we are not going to do. So first of all, you see a circle, you should be thinking to yourself, get your equations at the front. So the circumference of a circle is pi d. Yeah, the circumference of half a circle would be pi d over 2, and the circumference of a quarter of a circle would be pi d over 4. So just get that in your head about the circumference, because this is obviously a quarter of a circle. But if I was to put these two together, that's a quarter of a circle. There's another quarter of a circle circumference. So those two together are going to give me half of a circle. Okay, so just to watch out for that. Okay. So we've got the rectangle, we've got the two, like I said, the two quarter circles. We're going to do some safety railing around it. Okay. So the first thing I'd be doing is working out the full perimeter of the section. So to me, the perimeter, it's equal to, and you feel free to kind of label these up if you want. You've got these two dimensions here, so you've got the 36 and the 5. You've got a quarter of a circle. You've got another quarter of a circle. And then you're just left with this bit and this bit, which is going to be a radius of the circle. And the radius of the circle, because the radius goes from the centre out to the edge, doesn't it? So we don't need these bits in here. I don't need them. I'm just showing you that that's a radius as well. So my perimeter is going to be 36.5 times by 2. To that, I'm going to add on my 2 radius. Now the 2 radius is 2 multiplied by, what's the radius? So the radius, that whole bit there is 10, isn't it? 10, so that's 10. So if that's the radius, that'll be 10 as well. So 2 times 10. And to that, I'm going to add on the circle. So that's the pi d over 2, isn't it? Because we want half a circle. We've got 2 quarters a half. And the diameter is going to be 20, isn't it? 20, because the radius is 10. The diameter is twice that. So let's put that in our calculator. Okay, so that's me got my perimeter. Now let's look at the rest of it. So there's going to be 2 gaps. So I'm going to have to take off from that. So I'll subtract 125. That's centimeters. So centimeters times 2. So that's the same as subtracting 1.25 meters times 2. So that's just the same as 2.5, isn't it? Take away 2.5 meters. So I'll take that away. I'm going to end up with, take away 2.5, 121.91592, etc., etc. meters. Okay, so I've taken off the rail. And I know that this is also sold in 3 meter lengths. Okay, so that, if I then divide this by 3, that's how many lengths I'm going to need. Okay, so I'll just write what I've done there. So take away the 2.5 meter gap. And now I'm going to divide by 3 because it's sold in 3 meter lengths. So that's going to give me 40.638. We call them, yeah, just call them lengths. So therefore, I'm going to need 41 lengths. I can't go and buy 0.6. I'll end up to round up the way. That makes sense, doesn't it? Absolutely. So they all cost that. So my final cost is going to be 3 multiplied, not 3, sorry, 11.49. So that's like pound per 3 meters multiplied by my 41 lengths. So I'll take that number, times that by 11.49, and that's going to come out as 466.937. And to that, I can then round it and say that's 466.94. Remember, 2 decimal places for money, and that should be the end of us. Oh, sorry, again, little silly mistake there. That one, people again screaming at their computer. I kept my old number in my calculator, sorry. I should have used the new number, which was 40, once you actually kept that number in my calculator. So, I'd have lost a little mark for that. So 471.09. Silly me. Yeah. So, whoops, don't know. I was just kind of adding to my calculator each time. So once I rounded up, I hadn't rounded up my calculator. So that's your final answer there. So some good points to be had all the way through. You're getting a mark for this bit. You're getting a mark for taking away 2.5 and dividing by 3. You're getting a mark for this process here, and you're getting a mark for using your semicircle. I'd say the most important thing though is just to show you're working and have a nice layout. Okay, 5 great marks there, and all you're really doing is working out a length. Okay, but you need to know to take away the 2.5. You need to know this means you're dividing into 3, and then your final section times them by the amount. And they are quite nice. You know, the questions are wordy, but they do try and lead you into the kind of, that's not jumbled up. You know, that is in a nice order. So I think they try and help you sometimes by making you go through it stage by stage. It might not always be the case, but it does look as if it tries to feed you through what to do. Okay, so when you see circles, go for your circle equation. Diameter is from one edge to the other edge of the circle. The radius is from the middle to the edge. Yeah, so don't get those mixed up. And just shows you how to do half of a circle, quarter of a circle. But this is the most important bit. Just having a think about your strategy, taking your time, labeling your diagram up, and not rushing. Okay, so I hope that was helpful.